Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of the stories making our headlines this evening. It's Christmas morning. Tomorrow, President Muhammadu Buhari calls for Christians to demonstrate Christ's teachings. Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa wins appeal as an Abuja court says he is validly elected governor of the state. Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Corruption, Ishe Sage, says a lot more corrupt people will be exposed next year. And UK and US governments issue warning about possible Christmas Day attacks on Westerners in the Chinese capital, Beijing. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channels, where you can watch our videos. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device and download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We also urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app on the Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. We now bring you some other pictures sent to our Eyewitness portal, beginning with this one sent from Ilorin, Kwara State, showing a long queue at a filling station. Our Eyewitness reporter complains that the lingering fuel crisis has dampened the festive season. Next is this one showing a fallen truck along with a container in Oshodi, Lagos. Our Eyewitness reporter wants men of the FRSC to pay more attention to large trucks as these to avoid accidents. Finally, is this one from Ikorodu in Lagos showing an oversized cargo on a motorcycle. Our Eyewitness reporter wonders how the driver got past FRSC authorities without being apprehended. Thanks for sending in those pictures, and please keep them coming. You too can become an Eyewitness reporter for Channels Television. And the government and people of Anambra State have joined Christians over the world to mark the birth of Jesus Christ in a program tagged Anambra Heritage Christmas Carol. The event held at the Opo-Iweka Axis area in Onitsha. Governor Willie Obiano reaffirmed his commitment to improving lives of people in the state and providing social amenities in more local council areas. But he urged residents to support his administration in its drive to implement sustainable reforms.
This is not a political rally, but a gathering of Christian faithful who joined Governor Willie Obiano to celebrate the season of Christmas. The choir leads the way in recitals. Anambra Heritage Christmas Carol 2015. The location of choice for the event is strategic, as Iweka was famous for incidents of criminality.
I'm highly impressed with our Governor Willie Obiano, for bringing Anambra people together in many forms, especially not only in political but also social and religious form. I'm highly impressed.
This man, our governor, has united spirit, has redefined what is good, the very important element of prosperity, and that is people singing in joy and in happiness to herald the season.
Instead of people finding human heads and stuff like that around here, they now see good things. You can see the elaborate Christmas decoration. You can see what the carol, people singing the carol are doing. I'm just so excited.
The governor mounts the stage with a song, after which he emphasized the message of his administration to make sure Anambra is safe for all.
So said I, whatever will be, will be. The future is bright, said I. So said I, Today we are the safest state in Nigeria. And that's why we are here. When I took over 19 months ago, it took me only 3 weeks to conquer this place. And we have covered with the blood of Jesus. So we have conquered this place and dedicated this. That's why we chose to do this year's carols in Opiweka. So that people will begin to know that Opiweka has done what? Changed. We have come a long way. And I want to tell you that God is with Anambra State, now and forever.
The colorful night is made more colorful by the fireworks, sending a strong signal that the administration of Governor Willie Obiano is not backing down in the war against crime, especially during this festive season.
More goodwill messages on the Eid al-Maulud and Christian Christmas celebrations from top public officials. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, says as the birth of the Prophet Muhammad ushered in a new dawn for humanity, Nigerians should take the occasion of this year's Eid al-Maulud as new beginning for the country. Senator Saraki urges Muslim faithful to pray for the protection of all Nigerians, though he points out that the country has made progress in this regard since the past year. For the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, Nigerians have every reason to thank God for making it possible for the country to witness yet another Christmas amidst all the challenges facing us as a nation. He urges Christian faithful to embrace the reason for Christmas and imbibe the virtues and ideals which Jesus Christ advocated and exemplified during his earthly ministry. Also, Lagos State Governor Mr. Akiwumi Ambode is calling on Muslims and Christians to pray for peace, unity and continuous progress of the nation. The governor in a statement enjoins people of both faiths to follow the exemplary leadership of their founding fathers by promoting peaceful coexistence among the various segments of society. To Oyo State now, where Governor Abiola Ajimobi in his message to Muslims and Christians this year, says that the celebrations which follow in quick succession are a rare coincidence and a momentous occasion that should be savored by adherents of Islam and Christianity. We're away from the celebrations and the expectations for the celebrations, with the Harmattan haze still persisting across the country. Airline operators and pilots have been asked to adhere strictly to the approved weather minima advice during this period of hazardous weather. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority says the Nigerian Meteorological Agency had forecast that there would be occurrence of moderate to severe outbreaks of dust in the country during the Harmattan period, which started in November and is expected to last until March next year. This severe outbreak of dust could reduce atmospheric visibility significantly, thereby impacting negatively on flight operations. The agency also asked pilots to ensure that adequate departure, en route and destination weather information are obtained from NIMET officials before the flight operations, where pilots need to exercise maximum restraint when adverse weather is observed. In continuation of our review of the year 2015, our focus tonight is on the aviation sector. The merger of the Aviation and Transport Ministries, one key highlight of 2015, with the 5 new terminals across the country at various stages of completion. Airline operators are asking for better business environment. Our correspondent, Bukola Joe Oketumbi, reports.
Nigeria remains Africa's biggest aviation market, with a population of about 160 million people. And air travel not only connects people, but it connects economies. In 2015, the issue on the front burner was a call for the establishment of another national carrier, 12 years after the defunct Nigeria Airways went down. At the moment, the report of the committee is lying before the president. To airlines, most carriers say they did not have a good time as the rise in the dollar kept hitting hard at a business that is dollar denominated but run in naira. The issues of multiple charges imposed on airline operators by government agencies, the aviation fuel controversy, and the absence of stable policies is what some operators say is at the heart of the industry's failure.
The age restriction on the age of aircraft imported into the country. A lot of Nigerians erroneously think that Nigerian airlines are flying old planes. No. Everything on the aircraft has an expiry date. So the engines are not the ones that came in 1970. No, the engines might just be 2 months old components inside.
Now to airports. Some of the newly remodeled terminals, no doubt, may have made travel more enjoyable, but work is still ongoing at the 5 new international terminals across the country, being funded by the over $500 million loan from the Chinese government. Construction of a second runway for the Abuja airport also came up, with the National Assembly saying the contract sum is large. But the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria explained the significance of the project.
Second runway is very important, it's key to our operations because the present runway has deteriorated so much so that we need to do a major work on it to make it, to renew the life. So the second run will be necessary because you cannot afford to close Abuja airport because it's the seat of government and it's important to our economy.
Regards to incidents and accidents, the year 2015 was generally regarded as a year without serious safety issues, save for the Bristol helicopter crash in August. Then the errors use of inappropriate equipment that saw passengers disembark a flight on a ladder at the Bauchi airport, with a large financial sanction from the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority following. As the year draws to a close, industry players and passengers say they look forward to 2016, but their major concern is the need for the federal government to come up with a clear roadmap on how to develop the sector. Okalajo Kitumbi, Channels Television News.
I'm being joined now on the news at 10 by the Director General of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Mokhtar Usman. You're welcome to the news at 10.
Good evening and compliments of the season to all Nigerians.
Compliments of the season to you too. And what a weather we have across the country. Hazy weather, the Harmattan already in full force. So how will this impact on flight operations across Nigeria?
Naturally, as we know, the Harmattan dust haze comes from the desert this time of the year. It's blown because the winds are generally from the northeast. They come and dump weather into the dust into Nigeria, and that reduces visibility. And visibility is one of the measurements, one of the components for pilots to gauge whether to fly or not to fly for takeoff and landing. So sometimes it reduces the visibility to a limit whereby it's below what is approved for takeoff and for landing. So sometimes you experience delays and in some cases even cancellations because of the Harmattan dust haze.
And I can imagine that will put a damper on some people's holiday celebrations, but not to worry, hopefully the skies will clear up as people travel. But referring to the end-of-year reports, the one that we just played, airline operators say that they had a generally good year, but that they still want an enabling environment.
Well, as it was mentioned yesterday by the Honorable Minister of Transportation, a lot of things are being done, like the completion of the terminal buildings at 4 major airports in Nigeria and the continuation of the remodeling of some other airports, and a lot of other safety and security related projects that have been going through the background where people will not be able to see, only those who are directly responsible for the total radar coverage of Nigeria, which means that we have adequate surveillance for all the aircraft operating within Nigeria under positive control. The total communication also, which is part of the CNS, the communication navigation, and also the navigation using both the conventional terrestrial navigation and also the satellite-based, performance-based navigation system.
And finally, that embarrassing picture of a passenger took of aero contractors at the airport in Bauchi, passengers disembarking from the plane using a ladder. People believe that the NCAA responded quite late to that incident.
Well, first of all, let me say that aviation is the most regulated industry in the world. And secondly, the processes. We make regulations, we monitor those regulations, and where there are infractions, we also apply sanctions, but we have to go through the process. And in this case, we identified where the problem was, and we meted out whatever sanction that was provided for by the law. And the idea is to prevent it from happening. It's not just being punitive, but we want to learn from the mistakes of the past.
Captain Mokhtar Usman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas again.
When the news at 10 returns, Governor Akiwumi Ambode launches Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem at Marina, Lagos. Please join us again.